Hi, my name is Darren Cabell, and I'm here to show you the resting metabolic test. If you look here, this is our new Leaf equipment. What we do on this machine is we try to find out what your individual metabolism is. And when you hear the word metabolism, a lot of times people say, I don't think I have one. Well, that's not true, because if you're alive and breathing, you have one. As long as you're breathing in and out, your body's going to take energy and convert it. And if it does that, that means that you have a metabolism. With this test, what we do is we find out two things. We find out the quantity of calories you burn, so basically the number of calories that you're going to burn in a day at a resting state, which is why you get a resting metabolism test, is the title of this test. Those calories that are burned just at a resting state go towards making sure you're staying alive. All these calories go to making sure you have proper organ function. The other thing that this test does, aside from the quantity of calories, the number of calories, is the quality of calories. Do you burn predominantly fat or carbohydrates, or is it a pretty even mixture of both? What we do is we take this mask right here, we try to go back in time to the 1980s and look like we're in the movie Top Gun. This is going to fit on your face so it covers your nose and your chin, and you'll see that here in a little bit. As you breathe in, you take in oxygen. As you exhale carbon dioxide. The ratio of the two gives us a really good picture of what energy source you're utilizing, whether it's fat or whether it's carbohydrates. This test is pretty easy. The mask takes a little while to get used to, but it's pretty easy to deal with once you get used to breathing into it. You're going to be sitting there. You don't have to do anything other than stay awake, stay relaxed, and breathe through your mouth. So over the course of 10 to 12 minutes, we can get a good idea of the number of calories you're going to burn in a day. One thing that we want to make sure you do before the test is make sure you're fasting. You can usually take in just water. The fasting period is going to last 8 to 12 hours. 10 would be a nice average for that. If you do take regular medications, you can check with us and find out if it's okay to take those in the morning of the exam itself. Once the test is done, you'll see that, as we mentioned, quantity of calories. You see that I burn about 1,984 calories in a day. We also see quality of calories, burning carbohydrates about 50%, fat about 50%, so I'm about an even 50-50 fat burner on this test. Generally, we consider 60% fat and 40% to be ideal. As you can see here, my 1,984 calories that I burn in any given day, just by being alive, there's going to be more calories that I burn in a day depending on my activity level. So if I'm a very light office type worker, light active office, moderate, which would be light manual, or heavy physical, you can see that the total metabolism changes. So basically what we know is depending on how active you are determines how many calories you're going to burn in a day. I can enter in my target weight, what my goal weight is, and then I can also determine per week how many pounds a week I want to lose. Now once again, the purpose of this test is to give you an idea how many calories that you're going to expend in a day. Your resting metabolic rate accounts for about 60 to 75% of your total calorie expenditure in a day. So basically, if you're living and breathing, your body's going to burn energy. Depending on your activity level and your thermic effect of food, determines what percentage of your total calorie expenditure the RMR is going to account for. But generally, what we find out on this test is it gives you a good picture of how many calories you can consume in a day, how many calories you burn in a day, and what we want to try to accomplish is something called a calorie deficit. If you're able to consistently burn more calories than you take in, and we have a calorie deficit of 3,500 calories, that equals 1 pound of fat. So if we can repeat that 3,500 calorie deficit over and over and over on a consistent schedule, then we know that we can see the subsequent weight loss. And that's what our goal is, to let you know that you have a metabolism. Yes, it works. We just have to find out what it is so that we can work with it. And the best way to think about it is what it is. Whatever the number is, whether it looks high or low, that's your metabolism. And because of this technology, what we can do is we can find out with your metabolism, how are we going to work with it? How many calories need to come in and how many calories need to go out? And that's all there is to it.